Hello students, the lecture topic is channel nonlinearity, and with this topic I am going to explain you one more topic, that is threshold effect in FM. So today we are going to discuss these two topics, channel nonlinearity and threshold effect in FM. In modulation techniques, there are some defects also, some limitations also that we have to consider. So let us first discuss non-linearities. Actually, what is non-linearity? Non-linearities are always present in all electrical networks. All electrical networks or electrical circuits are having non-linearity. What is non-linearity? In a very simple language, if we want to correlate the input signal and output signal, and if there is a change in input signal, and for that change in input signal, if we are getting a corresponding change, proportional change in the output signal, then it is known as linearity. Okay? And if the output signal is not directly proportional to the change in input signal, it has some random changes or any other type of changes which are not directly proportional to input changes, then this nature is known as non-linearities. Okay? Ohm's law is the example of linear equation. Ohm's law gives us linearity property. But the semiconducting devices and many other electrical networks are many times providing non-linearities, and we are designing the circuit whenever we are in the designing process or we are solving the equations. So we have to take care of these non-linearities so that whatever the output we will get out of any electrical circuit, any electrical network, any system, that output should be made directly proportional to input changes by using some associate corrections in the circuit. Okay. Now we have to talk about the non-linearities in the modulation techniques, or before the demodulation, when communicating through the channels. Channels are, they may be the radio waves, they may be the communication path, copper link, wires. So these are the different channels. So after modulation, in the modulator, when we are going to transmit the modulated signal, so what are the defects included? What are the non-linearities? What are the non-linearities included in the modulated signal when we receive in the demodulator? So those are known as channel non-linearities, means the non-linearities included in the channel. When the modulated signal is passed through the channel, so channel is responsible for including the non-linearities. So now there are two conditions that has to be checked. The non-linearities is said to be strong if it is introduced intentionally. If we are introducing the non-linearities intentionally, then it should be strong and in a controlled manner. In a controlled manner, the non-linearities has to be included. Where we are including, the examples are square law modulators. If you remember, in amplitude demodulation, in AM demodulation, the first method is square law modulator, in which we use diodes for including the non-linearities. The other non-linear introduction is in hard limiters and in frequency multipliers. In zero crossing detection in FM demodulator, we were using limiters at the first stage. So for understanding this, we have to do a revision. So if you are not getting these terms, please check AM DA modulation and FM demodulation. There you will definitely found these square law modulators, hard limiters and frequency multipliers as non-linearity introductory instruments. Okay. So here the non-linearity was strong. That was useful. But now what we have to take in account for this discussion, that is the non-linearity is said to be weak when the linear performance is desired. Whenever we need a linear performance, what we need that whenever a modulated signal is passed through the channel, then at the receiver point, we should receive the signal as it was transmitted from the transmitter. So there should be no changes, but practically it is not possible. Some non-linearities arise due to imperfections of the channel. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to limit the useful signal levels in a system, and for that we have to do important design consideration. Okay. Now, communication channel transfer characteristic. The communication channel input-output relation can be indicated as this formula, where VIT, this VIT is the input signal to the channel. Just suppose there are two ends, one is the transmitting end and other is the receiving end, and you are sending the signal from transmitter to receiver via a channel. So channel is receiving the input at the transmitter end. The signal is VIT and the output of that channel is V0T, that is received by the receiver. Okay, and A1, A2 and A3 are the constants. Now, in frequency modulation, what is the channel input? So as we know, in the transmitter of FM modulation, the signal is frequency modulated signal, and in this case the frequency modulated signal output is AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi t, where FC is the carrier frequency signal, AC is amplitude of carrier signal which has to be constant in FM, and in FM modulation only the angle of the signal has to be modified, and in frequency modulation this modulation is in this form. This modulation is in this form, where the angle of the frequency modulated signal is equal to 2 pi kf integration 0 to t m to d to 0 to t. So t is the time duration for which the phase angle of the frequency modulated signal is changing to a constant value phi t, and this tau is very fractional time instant. Okay, so these two are the frequency modulated signal formula. Now we have to check the effect of non-linearity on amplitude modulated signal and FM signal. So let us take the non-linearity in amplitude modulated signal. Here we are taking the case of double sideband suppressed carrier. Double sideband suppressed carrier modulated signal is the input to this channel. This is the block diagram of channel, and the transfer function is printed on inside the block, and the output of the channel is FT, here indicated. Okay. Now, as we know that the double sideband suppressed carrier is the out modulated signal is MT, that is a message signal, dot cos omega CT. This is the double sideband suppressed carrier modulated signal equation. Okay. And here in this diagram, this is the double sideband suppressed carrier modulated signal which is entering to the channel, and when it enters to the channel, these brackets are this value, this complete value. The bracket inside this, it means that this input signal will be multiplied by A1 plus its square will be multiplied by A2 plus its square. Its square means this input signal is square and cube are multiplied by these different coefficients A1, A2 and A3. And the whole sum, the total is the output at the output of the channel. So since if the first part is only taken in account, this first part, then it is a linear system. But as it includes the higher power of the input signal multiplied with the coefficients, then it becomes non-linear, because these signals, the input modulated signals, are sinusoidal signals or combinations of many sinusoidal signals, and when they are making the square terms or cubic terms, then they are showing the many sidebands of different frequencies. Okay, so as a total, the output is a non-linear output. Now, if we put the GDSB-SC, means this input to the channel, if this complete value is put in the channel transfer function, in place of these brackets, if we put this value here, so this will become this equation. The output of the channel will be like this. Okay. So A1, this is the complete modulated input signal to the channel. Then plus A2, the square term of the modulated input signal, plus A3, the cubic term of the modulated input signal. Okay. So we have to separately solve all these square and cuboid terms. And finally, after solving this, what we receive? We receive finally these terms. For diploma students, the derivation, mathematical derivation is not included in the syllabus, but for understanding, you should know that finally the channel output is this one. This is around 0. Around 0 means this is only the message signal square terms as a first component of the output, plus the second component included the carrier frequency, means this term we are getting at the carrier frequency, in which there is a modulating signal plus cuboid term of the modulating signal. And the third one is around the 2 omega c. 2 omega c is the double of carrier frequency. And third is at thrice of the carrier frequency. You are watching that cubic term of message signal. So here what you are watching, that cos 3 omega ct, cos 2 omega ct, means at 0 frequency, at first carrier frequency, the second product of carrier frequency and third product of carrier frequency, we are getting the signals. Okay.